The wacky world of MultimediaJay.
Yes, it's what you think it is. Windows 8.1 preview, 32-bit. Better late than never, I suppose. But according to Microsoft's own documents, it should still work. Supposedly, the preview does not expire until January of next year. So I think you all know where this is going. Yes, folks, you've been asking for it. Let's waste no time in getting to it. Hello, Dellasaurus. Long time no see. Hope you still work, because you haven't been powered on in many, many months. The drive, anything could be wrong with this thing at this point. The cold New England winter could have sucked out the soul of this thing. Oh wait, it's only November. Maybe not yet. Or the hard drive might have seized up, or, okay, I'll quit being Mr. Negative. Fact remains, this is the Dellasaurus. It's a piece of crap. It was a piece of crap back when it first came out, and it's a piece of crap now, and that's all it's ever going to be is a piece of crap. 600 megahertz Celeron from fall of 2000 made this a crappy computer back then. My dad only got it because he was the last person in the family who didn't have email. So, hopefully it still works. Ooh, nice high-pitched noise when we turn on those speakers. Nothing exciting there, and the venerable tube monitor miraculously still works. Howdy, folks! Okay, and my chair that makes popping noises every time I turn around. This should be interesting. Okay, so here's what happened. Last time we tried getting Windows 8 to run on this monster... yeah, someone tried torturing the thing with Windows 8. Last time we tried getting Windows 8 to run on this piece of crap, I forgot a very basic thing and wound up with egg all over my face. It had been so long since the last time I'd worked with the 3264-bit thing that I completely forgot that some processors back in those days were 32-bit only. So here I was trying to install a 64-bit preview of Windows 8 on a 32-bit only machine. Duh! Well, that obviously has been fixed. This is a 32-bit version of Windows 8.1 preview. Okay, moment of truth time. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it turns on. That still opens. Can I get the CD out with only one hand the DVD out that I just got done burning? Yay. Blue. I'm not seeing anything in terms of boot codes, though. Probably because it's not like today's machines. You actually had to wait 45 seconds for the Dell screen to come up, which probably plays into my favor as I needed some time to boot this thing. But I'm still not getting anything on the screen. Oh, cool. Looks like the video system's messing up already. Okay, so the machine is still running Ubuntu from the last time I tried installing anything on this thing. And the read light is stuck on the drive. See if there's any way I can get this thing to read. Well, at least it still runs Linux. I've clicked this thing on and off more times in the past few minutes than I have in the past few months. Come on, give me my disk back. Good. Maybe it is something with the drive, I don't know. Single versus dual layer DVD? What's it gonna take to get this thing running? Only time will tell. I wonder. See, this is the weird part, because this machine isn't showing any kind of startup screen when I first turned it on. It used to just show Dell, and it would do the usual boot routine. I don't know if Ubuntu might have screwed anything up or not, but... interesting. Ubuntu will not go quietly into that cold, dark night, whatever the phrase is, so let's try something a little different here. Let's see if we can make this thing unbootable. Cha-ching! Click it off yet again, which can't be good for whatever's left of the drive. Let's see if it'll boot into Gparted. And this is on a regular CD, not a DVD. So, how's this gonna work, I wonder? See, the drive, I don't know if this is one of those older drives where the thing just stayed on, but this whole light staying on thing doesn't bode well for this thing. Oh, there it goes. Well, there's your proof that there's something else going on here. Let's go to a Gparted live session, and let's blow away Linux. which I'm sure is going to make some nerds start crying, but I don't use this machine for anything serious anymore, so... Come on, G-Parted. Do all that Linuxy stuff. Thing's making a lot of noise, but we're talking an early 2000s drive here. Well, at least we know that the DVD-ROM in this thing will still read CDs. Wondering if there might be some reading issues with this disc, because maybe it's too new for the old thing to work that way. And I don't know of any other way to put this thing on, put this OS on smaller media and stuff. Doo-dah. It's taken an awfully long time to load something as simple as G-Parted. Of course, considering how old the system is, that's no big surprise at all. We'll be back. And we're in. It was quite an interesting experience. Is my mouse gonna work? Is anything gonna work? Wait for it to finish loading here, if it's gonna work at all. It was quite an interesting experience, actually being able to read the text on the Linux screen here, so... That's how slow this thing is. Okay, so the keyboard is working, but the mouse is not. Oh, no. We need a mouse pad. Medic! Close enough. This mouse, and indeed every Microsoft mouse with these stupid no-click mouse wheels, is a piece of crap, which is why I don't use it for stuff except this. Alright, you can't just blow away the partition? ext4, delete. That's unallocated. Linux swap, delete. Extended, delete. There, the entire drive is now officially unformatted. There shouldn't be anything at all interfering. There shouldn't be anything whatsoever that interferes with this stuff. Please apply and destroy Linux forever. Well, maybe not forever, but... All ops have been successfully completed. Very well. It's time to shut down the Dellasaurus. And you poor people with your flicker vision probably can't wait for me to get out of this. Come on. Exit. Please exit. If you don't exit, I'm gonna pull the plug! Okay, let's be a little more patient. This is an old computer after all. Oh, here it goes. It's trying to do something. Yes, shut up and just shut up and shut down. There we go. Word of the week for you folks, as we get to watch this text yet again, because this machine is so slow we actually have time to read the text. Okay. Please remove the disk, close the tray if any, and press enter to continue. Very well then. Well, G-Parted is definitely out. And since we know this is going to be the next disk that we're going to put in, Windows is now back in. Okay, enter. Enter. Oh, cool. It shut the machine off with leaving the tray open. There's nothing on this machine and it cannot start. Does the boot screen even come back? Oh, we got a prompt. What happens? No such partition. Oh, grub rescue. So we got a prompt for grub, which was the Linux bootloader for Ubuntu. Is there a way to get into any kind of Windows environment, I wonder? Ultimate Boot CD XP. I haven't worked with this in a while. This runs off of a live image of Windows that I used to have on Piano. Or actually, no, I made it based off of Piano's image. But it should be enough to get some kind of XP-like environment. If it'll read. Oh, wait, we got activity. So maybe there's a bit of an issue. It could be with the BIOS, or it could be with something else. Launch the Ultimate Boot CD for Windows. It could be a situation with the BIOS and stuff, where maybe this thing is so old that, oh, it's going to load like Windows 2000 now. Maybe this thing is just so darn old that what's going to happen is it can boot off of CDs, but not DVDs. So, or maybe it's the drive firmware, something like that. But fact remains, this thing is not reading DVDs if it has to boot off of a DVD. So it may be time to try some other things. See, the problem with, and some people have suggested I use something based off of USB. The big problem I've run into with USB stuff is that USB isn't going to work very well because USB Where do I begin with the whole problem with USB? USB support was very primitive back then. This machine doesn't even have USB 2. That's how old it is. And considering how slow it is and just getting past this first part of a Windows 2000 style boot up, yeah, this may take a while. This is the most hideous Windows XP environment I've ever worked in. What is it, running in 16 color mode? What's in the start menu? Little simple programs, disk tools. Let's see. Partition. What do we want to use for that? Well, let's just play around with some of these things to try and get that grub off of there. Make this work more like a Windows type doodad again. Something. I don't know. Okay, this was a fun little detour, but unfortunately I'm going to try something a little different. I wonder if I can get a back path to installing Windows 8.1 via Windows 2000 or Windows XP. Okay, time to shut down the terrible looking, whatever you want to call it, turn off computer. This should give me some extra options compared to the way XP normally does this stuff. Yep, I want to shut down and eject the disk. See, let's try Windows 2000 first in terms of trying to get Windows 8.1 to install off of a previous version of Windows. Maybe that might get around the issues with not being able to... Yay, my disk is out already. Maybe that might get around the issues with... Ooh, just shut right off. Of course, there's no drive to shut off or anything, but... Okay, maybe that might get around my little issue. I don't know if that's good for it or not, but... Maybe that might get around my little issue with... not being able to boot directly off of a DVD. Okay, so we can't boot directly with a DVD-ROM, but could we install a Windows 2000 or a Windows XP and then upgrade to 8.1 from something that old? This is getting interesting, folks. Actually, since we're not going to be registering it and this thing can't even go online, let's try that idea with Windows XP. Try something just a little bit newer. Okay, any second now, we should finally be in some kind of Windows environment. There's a pointer. That's a good start. I also brought down the netbook, or the crap book, to serve as an uplink to... Oh, there we go. Here goes the rest of the startup. I decided I'm going to use this as an uplink to the wireless so I can put this thing on the network when we need to finally hook this thing up to the internet somehow. I still don't know if this is going to work, though. Is this a limitation of the motherboard that it can't boot off of DVDs, or is this some kind of limitation of the drive? We shall see. Let's finish setting up XP here. Pretty much about 90% done. Do we have ourselves a desktop? Looks like we will. Come on, you Celeron piece of crap. Yay! Alright, as soon as this finishes booting up, I'm not going to bore you to death with watching this ancient thing boot a Windows desktop. But as soon as everything is all set, let's see if it'll read the DVD with the Windows 8 upgrade and upgrade to Windows 8.1. Okay, moment of truth time. The optical drive is... Oh, flicker vision! Back off! At least you know it's properly registering as a DVD drive. Yeah, I've been watching a few B. Bishop PCM tech videos while waiting for all this to load up. But the moment of truth has arrived. 8.1 is ready to roll. Let's see what it shows up as. Now, if this doesn't show up here... Flicker vision! If this doesn't show up here, this tells me we got a problem with our drive. And, take a tour of Windows XP. Nope, the only tour I'm giving myself... Oh, I hear activity. You have 30 days left to activate. I don't intend on this version of XP still being on this computer in 30 days. Okay, let's see if it'll read. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is probably... The whole thing of not booting off of DVDs probably has something to do with the motherboard. Alright, is it going to auto-run, or do I have to... See if it'll read. Now it's saying it's a CD drive with a DVD-ROM in it. Ancient firmware, please don't fail me now. Although this drive does have a slower read speed. It's only a quad speed DVD instead of the standard 16x. It's been around for forever. Okay, what's it going to take to get this thing to read properly? I wonder. Maybe I'm going to have to grab that drive from Piano after all. There's my answer. I think there's some problems with this drive. Maybe the single layer, dual layer thing is in play here. I think I need a new drive now. Okay. Let's get the disc out. That's disc with a C, for those of you who are like, discs? You running off of discs in that thing? Nerd humor. Okay, well, let's try a newer drive. Worst comes to worst, I'll gut my Blu-ray. No, that's serial ATA. It needs to be parallel ATA. The only parallel ATA drives I have that I could pull from is piano. So the poor music machine is going to be losing a drive. Oh well. Well, at least we can shut it down and watch it shut off. Oh, brother. This is getting weird. Okay, now things are getting really weird and really nerdy. This is live, hence the light being on inside the half-torn-apart Dellasaurus, that is. And I'm trying something that I'm sure isn't going to work. That I've got, this thing only has 2 USB ports and a USB 1.1, but just for the heck of it, let's use this plug-in Blu-ray drive using only the main and not auxiliary power thing and a PS2 mouse. See if this will still work. For trivia's sake, this little Hewlett-Packard mouse here was the mouse on my first ever computer back in college. Now, how do we turn this thing on when the front panel... How do we turn this thing on when the front panel's not attached? This thing, I think. Well, let's use something that doesn't conduct. Okay, well, it's getting power at least. Why do I try this crap? Am I getting any video signal yet? Monitor's probably warming back up. Oh, there comes XP. This is definitely a Franken computer now. Oof. Yep. Oh, stay closed. Oh, what the heck. Ah, I hit something and started the B Bishop PCM video now. Stop! Pause. Oh, okay, we'll have to look at his... You know what? Close it. I was wondering what that noise was. I was like, that's not the computer, is it? Take a tour of Windows XP. Okay, the mouse works right off of the bat, although it's a ball mouse, so... Alright. Open up my computer and see if the plug-in drive is showing up. Oh no, it's not showing up yet. I don't know if this thing's gonna have enough power. It usually requires 2 plugs. Maybe I'll have to temporarily give up my keyboard. Or I could get a USB hub, one of those 2. But I need both ports. Decisions. This is messed up. Oh, nope, something just died. A USB hub, but it's USB 2. Goes to both ports in the back. And let's see if this thing will have enough power to run both the drive and the keyboard at the same time. Come on, Dellasaurus. Not looking good. It's only detecting as a CD drive. And we put this in. It does start reading a bit. But unfortunately, it's not detecting as anything that can read DVDs. You know what? Before we gut piano, it might be a good idea to see if the DVD drive... to see if this DVD is actually good. Although I did have it tested when I burned the thing, so... Nope, nothing's showing up, no signs of life. We may have to gut piano after all. Okay, here we are, piano. A Windows XP environment unto itself, and the belts seem to be working okay in this DVD drive. So this drive, it is showing up as a DVD-RW. So this drive will read the disc, right? Oops. This drive can still read anything at all, right? These drives have a few years on them, to say the least. They have belt problems where the belt's gotten a little too, like, not rubbery enough, and sometimes the things get jammed. Oh, there it is, see? Except we got an error message. Procedure entry point could not be located in the dynamic link library blah blah blah.dll for setup.exe. MCCSAX8 free NUSDVS. There's some kind of error with the auto run, but can we at least explore the contents of it? Alright, so can we run this? Oh no. This doesn't bode well. This doesn't bode well for getting it to run on the Dellasaurus if it won't even run here. Let's try putting Tuxedo at risk, although I certainly don't want to be running Windows 8.1 on Tuxedo. Okay, let's put Tuxedo at risk here. Drive is loaded, and let's push the button. See what happens. If anything at all. This is Windows 7 Professional, a perfectly fine copy of Windows 7 Professional that I have absolutely no interest in getting rid of. Switch back to auto mode so it won't be all blue from the indoor white balancing. Okay, it's showing up there. Is it going to try and install it? It better not be completely automatic. I certainly don't want to lose this machine. Oh yeah, there we go, good, it errored out, that's right. Use the other installation disk that says 64-bit. When you insert it, Windows setup will restart automatically. No thanks. So this is the reverse of me screwing up. Of course it didn't install correctly. Wrong bit rate, or wrong bits on, wrong bit version, I should say. Ah, good. So this is the reverse of me screwing up the 3264 thing earlier. Good, I didn't want to install it. So this tells me that it's legit. I suppose what I should probably do then is to mess around in 8.1, Windows 8.1 Preview. Why don't we put it up against Piano? And since we have Windows XP in pretty decent running shape for at least 30 days on the Dellasaurus, let's see if we can get NovaBench working in an XP environment on Dellasaurus instead. So, yeah, Windows 8 versus Windows 8.1 versus the Dellasaurus. I think I'm just going to try something else here because I really don't feel like getting any more hack job with this setup than I already am. Because I know some of you folks have been like, oh, use a drive. I know some of you folks have been like, oh, use a plug-in drive or something. But I don't really want to spend all weekend just trying to get a new operating system working on that ancient piece of crap. We'll play around with it, and we'll play around with it on Piano, a proper environment for the OS. As for the Dellasaurus, let's turn this into an XP experiment, see how low of a score we can get on NovaBench. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.